Okay, well, welcome back. And as promised, we're trying again. This time we went for the Gusto. I did a whole gallon of syrup instead of half a gallon, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully I don't ruin it. We did end up making 2 pounds of cream out of a gallon of syrup. Last time, you're supposed to get about 8 pounds out of a gallon, but it is what it is. Learning curve, I guess. Anyway, we talked to some people. Was talking with Nick Wendell down at Wendell's Maple down in Springville or East Concord. One of the things he said was the temperature, and I said, well, we cooked it to 22 degrees above the boiling point of water, and I had checked the boiling point of water that day and everything. And the one thing he asked me was, did you check your thermometer? And I said, you know what? No, I didn't. And as you've seen in some of the previous videos, we calibrate our thermometer that we use for our draw off in the evaporator, so we know, because not all thermometers are accurately calibrated or can be calibrated. You just have to compensate. So yesterday, before I cooked this, I boiled some water on the stove and put the thermometer in it that we use, and lo and behold, it's off by about a degree. So we compensated for that when we cooked it. So we went 22 degrees above the boiling point of water. So we cooked it to 233 degrees. And well, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we can title this video "Third Time's a Charm." So here we go. Okay, we had our first little minor glitch. Nothing catastrophist, but I just made a word up. Make sure your valve's closed before you turn the machine on, because it glopped out some cream. So the other thing we did this time is, instead of using the golden syrup, we had some amber that was also pretty low invert, which is what you want for this. The invert sugar, that gets really deep into the science of the sucrose, fructose, etc. If you look in here, you can see it's starting to change color a little bit. I got my spray bottle right here just in case things get a little dicey. It's kind of starting to stack up a little bit. Not great yet, but I don't think we're quite there. I think we're supposed to be looking for streaks also, and we haven't seen any of that. So we'll just stand here and watch and fast forward you through this until we get to the good part at the end, hopefully. I'm starting to see some streaks in there. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but and it's still kind of, it's not really stacking up. It's still kind of flowing. So I think we're getting kind of close, but not quite there yet. I'm trying to make sure everything's all good and mixed.
Kind of looks like that mustard.
What's that?
Kind of looks like the mustard.
Megan says it kind of looks like our maple mustard. So I think we're getting close now. Like really close. It's starting to lose its shine. So what I'm going to do is start bottling. Or jarring, I guess. You can see off to the side here, this is starting to get a dull finish, and it's really starting to stack up. So let's give this a shot. How's it look on top, Megan? Is it thickening up too much?
Yeah.
Alright, just give it a spritz. Just a couple.
Now it's starting to.
Haven't lost it yet. So you can see here we're, I think, on the verge of disaster, but ooh, if I can get a little bit of water back into this, I think we might still be okay. I don't know, but it's definitely thickened up on us. Yeah, I can try a little splash of hot. What I'm afraid of though now is it's stuck up in the pipe, and we're not going to be able to get it moved through. We're going to pause the video for a second here. Alright, sorry for the pauses, but we're trying to save this. I don't think we lost it yet. We did figure out another use for the 5/16 tubing we use for sap. It'll follow the bend of the pipe here, and I think if we can get it going through this tube again, we might be able to save the whole batch. But here it comes. I know it doesn't look very appetizing, but it'll get there. There's a big slug in this tube, and if we can get that slug moving again, the stuff that's in the hopper here is a little bit watery, and I think if we mix everything up, there it comes. We can get everything mixed up, I think we might be still good. We got, looks like 3 jars maybe filled before we plugged up. Alright, we'll let this run for a few minutes. I gotta go get cleaned up a little bit here. We'll be right back. Alright, as you can see, we got it flowing again. It's, I think, a little too soupy yet, but I think once you can see here the slug's still coming out, still working its way out. I'm scraping the hard stuff off the sides. I think we're gonna be okay. I think I might even take like this stuff we already put in the jar. That's set up really hard. So I'm just gonna break that up, put it back in, and mix that in and thicken everything up a little bit. So we'll get it mixed back up and try this again. Hold on. Alright, I think we got it saved. So we're gonna start filling some jars again. Megan's going to keep an eye on top, make sure it doesn't thicken on us again. And we'll see what we get when we're done. Alright, well, as you can see, we're just finishing cleaning up, draining the last of the water out of the pans. What we ended up with, you can see it in there. It's still setting up, but I think may not be perfect, but it's pretty good for our third try. I think I'm going to call it a success. I don't know about a charm. We ended up with, what did we end up with, Megan? A little over 6 pounds. We put some in a sample bottle or a sample jar that we use at the markets, and that's what we use to also top off the jars with, just to make sure they're all right at 8 ounces or a little better. I'll learn where to fill the bottles to, or the jars to, as we go. So we hopefully won't have to do that down the road. I'd rather give somebody a little more than a little less, so I don't mind if they're a little overfilled, but I definitely don't want to short somebody. So anyway, so that's our about all I think we're going to do with the cream machine as far as videos go. Probably the time we get it absolutely right, there's going to be nobody to run the camera or anything else. So we'll get these jarred up, get them in the fridge and let them set up. And if you're around and you want to hit us at the Niagara County Fair this coming week, or, well, I don't know when this video comes out, the fair might be over. Anyway, we're at North Tonawanda Market every week. Do a couple other small ones around. Might try Lewiston. We can get in down there. Anyway, so just one other thing I'd like to add, actually 2 other things I'd like to add. I want to thank Megan for her patience. I get kind of antsy sometimes when I'm doing this and start raising my voice and thinking she should know what I'm thinking when I'm thinking it and not saying it. So Megan, thank you for your patience and thank you for filming and editing. And lastly, I know I've mentioned it in other videos, mentors. Find yourself a mentor. Find yourself, if you want to try this, it's something that's interesting to get into. There's benefit from it, whether it's ended up as a business like we're running it now, or just as a hobby. There's lots of different stuff you can make from maple. You've seen a lot of the stuff, the cream, the sugar, the nuts, the syrup, the flavored syrups, all that kind of stuff you can do. And there's still a lot more, the popcorn, everything. But find yourself a mentor, somebody that's been doing this a while. I am by no means an expert, but I'll share whatever information I have with anybody that asks, whether it's good or bad. But find yourself an equipment dealer or somebody that's been doing it a while. I can't tell you enough how much Nick Wendell people like him and Marty Wendell and Bernie Wendell have helped with, especially with the confections. Um, Bernie and Nick with that, and Marty and Nick with the tubing systems and the equipment, and just learning everything I've learned. People like Glenn Goodrich up in Vermont, you've seen a couple of the videos we put up from up at their place. Just all great people. So find yourself somebody in the maple industry that's around, and I'm sure they'll help you. We haven't ever run into anybody that's not willing to help us learn and expand. Murley's Maple down in Varysburg, they're great people down there too. I'm sure I'm missing people, but everybody that's helped us along the way, thank you. And again, please continue to like and subscribe. We're aiming for 100. We're almost there. I think we're at like 70 now. So if you could just hit the subscribe button and check out the videos when they come out. So that's it for now, and we'll see you when we come up with our next project. All right, have a good one.